So we want to go quick and we want to commit. You can think about that like it's like catching the clean. Hello and welcome back to the Fox Strength Performance YouTube channel. I am Taylor Fox, and today we're talking about jumping, specifically kneeling jumping and how to do a kneeling jump. So I've gotten some comments that have been like, hey, like I don't feel like I can get off the ground. I don't feel like I can do a kneeling jump. I really want to achieve that explosiveness and be able to use that force production and, carry that over to lifts or to athletic performance, whatever it may be that you're prepping for. So let's get into it, how to progress to doing a kneeling jump. And I'm about 280, 285 right now. So I feel like I've developed a good amount of jumping ability, especially relative to powerlifting, strongman. I feel like I really developed those skills over a long time to be able to produce that force well and be explosive for the events that I have to compete in. In general, just this amount of body weight and be able to move like that. I've even done this stuff like as heavy as 320. So I like to think I kind of know how to do it. I'm not anybody like knees over toes guy or somebody else that's good with jumping and plays basketball or whatever. But being a professional strength coach, having quality certifications, being well educated, I have looked into this stuff a lot and I've applied it well, and I think I have a good sense of how to progress it. So first thing that we're thinking about here is the hinge pattern. So you can look back at this video that I did applying the hinge pattern with the deadlift and then the squat. I don't think we have to really rehash all of that, but specifically just learning how to hinge. That doesn't have to be applying it to a deadlift, to a squat with a barbell, but literally just a kettlebell and learning how to get the hips back and get in a good position and get a quality hinge pattern going under load. So we know how to hinge, we can do that under load. We want to make sure that we're squatting at the very least. You want to be able to handle that load and that force production and quality of movement there. If you're not able to squat and you're not able to squat a decent amount of weight, at least your body weight for a ton of reps, are we then really worried so much about the jumping? We need to be able to absorb that force as well as produce it. And if you can't absorb the force from literally lowering a bar with your squat, then I'm not sure we need to get into all these jumping exercises. And I'm not asking for a lot here, literally just be able to squat and put some weight on the bar, I think is reasonable. You don't have to be powerlifter strength. You don't have to be a strongman athlete. You don't need to be doing these movements, but you need to be able to produce as well as absorb that force well and have that quality of movement to then be able to involve these different jumping variations and get more complex with it. The last thing that you need to be able to do is extend the hips. So if you can't extend your hips, doing this band mobility is a good way to open your hips up and be able to get full extension and be able to triple extend. And then so we can triple extend, we want to involve some weightlifting movements like a kettlebell swing, a snatch. You can even do this high pulls with the bar or low pulls, but anything that prioritizes that hip extension and triple extension. I really like a dumbbell snatch because my shoulder mobility is terrible, so we can work on that and being able to extend well. So if we're here, we're going to get into our hinge pattern with the dumbbell, and then when we extend, we come into triple extension, and that dumbbell is going to come straight up. So it's just going to be like this and locking out overhead. So to recap, we are going to learn the hinge pattern, do that really before anything else, and then start to develop our strength with squat movements, make sure that we have good quality movement with squatting, and then we can apply it to some of these different exercises and really make sure we're prioritizing the hip extension. If you don't have that hip extension, revert back, do some of the band mobility, accomplish that good hip extension, and then move on to some of these triple extension type movements, and then we will get into some kneeling jumping. So the idea is to commit, and I cannot do it without this arm swing, so definitely utilize the arm swing. So I go up, deep breath in, flex the hips back and bring the arms down. And from this position, you'll be able to propel out of it into the jump. So we want to go quick and we want to commit. You can think about that like it's like catching the clean at the bottom end. So that would be my system for implementing a kneeling jump. Comment below if you have any questions or issue you have with that pattern, and maybe there's something else that you feel like should be added in, or something that you're getting snagged on, you don't feel like you can progress well with it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, keep lifting those heavy weights. Hold strong.